Wow, guys, that actually turned out way better than I expected. I took full advantage of the fact that I owned a white truck and I never washed this thing. I seriously, I might have hand washed this thing 1 to 2 times in 5 years. There's mold like underneath trim and stuff like that. It all washed off, but that's just the advantage of having a white vehicle. Like, it always looks halfway clean. And I went the whole way on the other side of the spectrum and got a black truck, which will never be clean. It doesn't matter how many times you clean it. Anyways, the reason we washed this thing up is I'm selling it and I wanted to get it all cleaned up. But first, I have an airbag sensor in the front here that I need to replace. Another reason that I cleaned it, the roof. I need to repaint this truck. I know it doesn't look like it. The roof needs painted, okay? I did it before. There's little channels in the roof. Let me show you. Hop up into my bed. Channels on the roof of these things, and this thing was always parked on the street, so water just lays in there and bakes. And as you can see, the paint just doesn't hold up in those areas. So you can see I did this in this area, and all I did was scuff, use self-etching primer and then white enamel and just sprayed those areas. I'm going to do this whole area right here. I actually have Summit white paint from previous paint jobs and clear coat. So I'm just going to use, actually I was going to use a detailing gun, but that's such a big area. I may just use a regular paint gun. With a detailing gun, you'll have a little less overspray. I don't know. I'm basically going to stay between this channel and this channel and just do this area, and then I can buff around here to smooth it out. But I'm not going to go too far. We're just going to keep it here, but I got to sand all this rust out, get it to the bare metal, and then self-etching primer, and then white paint, clear. So I mean, that's an eyesore. Now, I don't know if anybody's going to look at that when they go to buy this, but I don't want it to look like that when somebody comes to look at it. So, repainting. Furthermore, we just need to clean the interior. This thing needs cleaned up. I already emptied the bed out, obviously. The interior needs to be stripped out as well. This whole week, I have been out of commission. My hand was hurting last week, and I just kind of ignored it. Kept lifting weights, lifting heavy. I could not use this hand this week. And the doctor told me it was because I was doing too much beating off, because my wife beat me. It's because me and your mom was fooling around and I stuck this in her. Honest to God, I have no clue what I did. I think I just bruised it. But as the week went on, I quit. I just didn't lift all week, and it got progressively better, and now I can actually use my hand, and it's not aggravating or excruciating for me to use. So we're good there. On another note, I don't know if you guys knew this, but what my wife does for a living is she's a functional health coach. And I don't honestly know exactly how she does wizardry that she does, but she heals people. Like, things that they have, like heartburn or diseases and stuff like that, she cures them all that by using functional medicine and running tests and stuff like that. Well, I don't want to connect it to it. I don't know why, but ever since I got the vaccine, I've just not been motivated at all in here. I haven't wanted to do anything. I'm pushing myself to do things in the garage. She ran what they call a Dutch test on me, and the results came back, and I have a lot of things that are leading to the reason why I don't have any motivation at all. So we're going to get that fixed, and hopefully I'll have the willpower to come back in here and bust my butt like I used to, but I just don't want to right now. It sucks. I have adrenal glands that are almost non-functional, probably from drinking too many energy drinks and coffees. My body is producing 0 dopamine, which is what gives you motivation. But anyways, hopefully we can get myself back to my old self, and maybe I'll find motivation to work on this thing again. I don't know. But trucks are a hot item right now. I need to get this thing like done today. And as I said in the last video, I already tried to replace the airbag sensor in this. And I went to plug it in, and I found out that it would not plug in because it was the wrong one. So right here is the correct one. When you replace these, you'll get an airbag light on the dash, and that is typical on these for a faulty airbag sensor or low voltage from the airbag sensor or whatever. And it's one of two in the front. Now what you do is you pull that skid plate off in the front, and you have direct access to them. They're on a crossbar right in the center. So being on a lift is a lot easier to do this than just, well, I mean, you can roll underneath and do it, but being on a lift is your best bet. But all I did was, oh, I need an airbag sensor. Looked it up on Rock Auto, and they have multiple ones. Paid no attention to the serial numbers on them because I figured they're all the same. No. So, here's the first one that I ordered. And here is the second one I ordered. The second one, look, they're identical. They are identical. But the numbers are different on them. And where they differ, again, is where the tongs are inside of these plugs. Now, I hope I didn't... Okay, I can... The one that's dusty is the one I just took out of this box. I've had that airbag sensor for about 6 months. I actually ordered it on Advanced Auto's webpage. That's where I ordered it. This one I ordered from Rock Auto. Made sure it was the right serial number. This one, I can tell the tongs are right on it. It's got them good tongs. But I think that's the first thing we're going to do. Then I'm going to jump onto the roof, and I'm going to do a little dance. And then you get rudely interrupted by your hot wife because she wants to take a walkie walk. Do you have a pool party after this in your new pool? Listen, guys, we're getting overboard on this pool thing. We got an inflatable pool. We have an inflatable pool heater with a temperature gauge so we can see how warm the water is. She got a floaty so she can float on top of the pool. And next, we're getting a filtration system so that the water, I keep it covered with a tarp so the bugs and stuff will stay out of it. But I mean, we might as well just like mount it permanently right there in the grass, because the grass is dead there. I can guarantee it. All right, I'll get right back to you. I guess I got to take a walkie walk. I'll be right back. All right, we back. Let's get this airbag sensor in. Alright, so we got the new one in. I'm not going to worry about checking the codes right now. While I have it up like this, now the underside of my truck looks pretty dang good. Because wool wax black everything. So everything's coated and looks fairly good underneath here. But back here, I'm going to go over and touch up some areas real quick. Like down in my... U-bolts here, some sections of frame rail right here. I need to get some on that. My frame's actually not too bad looking on this thing since I kept everything coated, but yeah, you can see there's some areas that I need to touch up on and make look a little bit better. So I'm just gonna go around and hit those areas, and then we'll get the sanding on the roof. Now I'll be the first one to admit I did do that wrong. You're supposed to disconnect the battery when you're messing with airbag sensors. If I didn't do that, don't do as I do. Just watch me mess up. So real quick, I just want to make sure We don't still have an airbag code. And yep, we're good. It would come up on there and say service airbag, and then you had the airbag light that would not go out. So we're good there. Another thing we'll be doing is I'm taking the brake controller out of this because I'm giving that to my dad, because my dad has the same style truck. So he'll be getting that. I went ahead and while I was up on the lift, put tire shine on the tires because that's the best time to do it. So once that dries, I'm gonna snap some pictures. But before I do that, since I'm gonna give that some time to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and go up there and hand sand those ruts in the roof up there and get them down to bare metal. And for that, I'll be sanding it with 240. So I'm just gonna leave my gloves on, go up there and go to town. So I'm not finished sanding this. I'm going to do that whole section. But I'm going to do that in the morning. It's getting late. I'm going to bed because I'm an old man. And I'm all sweaty. Look at this. Look at this. Why do I sweat so easy? Is it because I'm old? Alright, you degenerates. I have decided that I am going to be using my touch-up guns. My little itty-bitty ones. I have another one too. I'm going to use that to spray sealer. And I'm going to use this to spray base and clear. Now I went ahead and finished the sanding work, so you didn't have to bear through all of that. But I figured using these smaller guns, it's going to cut down on overspray, and I didn't have to do as much work then. So I'll show you where I'm at. One thing I'm not really liking is I got my other one out that I'm going to spray sealer with, and look how dusty this thing is. I'm going to wipe this thing down before I decide to use that. Here we are, cleaned, prepped, got plastic draped around. I'm going to spray all of these with self-etching primer since we have bare metal showing on pretty much every one of them. So I'm going to hit the bare metal areas with self-etching primer. Then I'm going to go over it with sealer, which I didn't do the last time. And then I'm going to go over it with base and then clear coat. And then once we're done, I can buff around the edges and make that clear coat kind of blend in. Now, although not perfect, it's a lot better than what we had going on here. There's a couple areas where the old paint lifted, and I'm hoping that the clear actually sealed it in right there. You can see them. But still, this is better than having bare metal on the roof or rust on the roof. So, and then there's another spot there. I tried. It was just kind of like a quick job, but that's still better than what we were working with. So I will have to buff around the edges, but that's not going to happen right now, or probably even on this episode, because that needs ample time to dry. But while that's drying, I need to change the oil in the oil filter. So we're just going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to start it up, let it run. Since we got kind of like exhaust going through here right now, might as well start it up and let it get warmed up, and then we'll change fluids, and it's one less thing off the list. Then I just need to clean the interior, which I'm not really looking forward to. Well, this is all the higher I can go, because if I go up another click, I'm going to be dipping my limited edition Tabori auto flag in clear coat, so let's not do that. So that's kind of sucky, but we can get it done. Alright, last thing I'm going to do is clean out the interior, and all I'm going to do is just show you a shot whenever I'm finished, and maybe we'll polish the roof then in a future clip too. But I got to wait for all of that to cure and dry, and we'll see how everything turns out. And there you have it, guys. She's done. I just listed it for sale. I hope she goes soon, because I could really use the cash, because there's a lot going out right now and not that much coming in. So if you like this video, smash that like button. Consider subscribing. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you liked my old truck better than my new truck. I don't care if you do or not, but you know, I like my new truck better. Hit that dislike button if your mom's mad, because we had a lot of memories in this thing. And we'll see you on the next episode of Unwrecked. You watching me edit? Did I catch you at a bad time, sir? What are you doing? I know what you want. Are you gonna turn down my chip again? Really? What kind of chips do you like? You gonna give it a little nibble? You gonna take it? Been a while. Hey, I didn't think he was coming out. She was comfortable under the bed. Did you want to say bye-bye to the people? You don't know what to do. Okay. Just prance around a little bit. Okay. That's nice.